Welcome to curbside cooking. Welcome to curbside cooking. Today we are going to use a single burner stove. We're going to use a box. We're going to use butane, B-U-T-A-N-E, and the first thing we're going to do is turn over the grill. If you leave this upside down on this particular grill, this lever has to be up and that has to be off. If you leave this grill up just like this, it's too close to the burner. Way too close. So just remember that it comes packed like that. And then all you do is place it in there so the fins are upwards. And this keeps it away from the burner. We're going to use butane today. We're going to give it a try. And we open up the door, take off the lid, and there's a little lever here. And there's a little notch here. That top notch on the butane can needs to go in here, just like this. Once it sits in there, and it's loose back and forth, but the notch is right here at the top, as you can see. Now you're ready to go. When you press down this lever with a butane can, that's how you engage it, and watch how it engages. You see that? It engages. Once it's engaged, I can turn it on. So I'm going to close this back up. Now you say, well, how can you use propane? Let me show you. If you take the butane can out, there's a screw area that you screw in a device. This lever here just stays in its position right here. You screw in the device, and there's like a nub on the device. That's in my other video. And then you attach through this little door on the side the pipe that comes out, and then you attach to the propane tank. We're using butane today. So I'm going to close this up. I'm going to place it inside this particular box, just like this. You say, well, why am I going to place it inside the box? Because, believe it or not, it's going to shield the wind today on this curbside cooking. Now, what are we going to do? Let's get a little bit. Let's take a teapot, and we're going to fill this up with water like this. Just like so. Put the lid on. Place the teapot on top of the burner. Just like so. Now, you take this lever and engage this downwards only when using a can of butane. Never push that lever down when you're using propane tank on the side, or else you'll break the system. And now I'm going to turn it on and click it. I'm going to set this to the side a little bit so you can see it go on. It's on. You can see the gas flames. See the gas flames? I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Right about here. Right like that. That should be perfect. Put this on. And we should be boiling. Put this on. Put this on. And we should be boiling in about 2 minutes. Let's turn up the heat a little bit too. Okay, we're going to turn it up a little bit. You can hear it. Now I'm going to get my cup. This is my cup. Okay. I could actually boil the water right in the cup if I wanted to, but I chose not to. Set this down. The most important thing about curbside cooking is having a knee cushion, unless you have a chair or a table or something, but this is perfect. And a knee cushion is really, really good and spongy. I would go with something a little bit thicker, probably twice as thick or 3 times. All right, so now all we need is a tea bag. So I'll take my tea bag out. Today we're going to use ginger tea blend. Now, one of the things that I do is I always tear off this string, because if it's hanging over the side, it actually wicks water up through here and down onto whatever the cup is sitting on. So if it's sitting on a paper towel or something, it's going to wick all of the water out of the cup. It's going to wick the water out of the cup and into whatever's around it. So if there's wood, a towel, or carpet or anything, it's going to wick it. So I always tear this off like this. So it looks like that. And that's it. And I place it in my cup. Let's see how we're doing over here. Once you have a few bubbles, as you can see, it's hot enough. That's 150, perfect. So I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to undo the butane. So it's undone. So now I'm going to just, once the bubbles you see a little bit of bubbles like that, it's probably about 150 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'll just, and that's perfect. You don't want to have it bubbling. You just pour it in. Looks like I might have ripped the bag, which is no big deal. Having a few tea leaves or whatever, ginger in your drink, and if you eat it, it's no big deal. All right, so we'll let that simmer for a little bit, for maybe a minute. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is take this off. I'm going to put it on a wood stick so that the heat doesn't dissipate from the cup. Just like this. Now, usually I'll have a maybe twice as wide piece of wood to set it on. I don't have that today. All right, so one of the things that I'm going to do too is I'm going to take a peppermint herbal tea bag. The water's still hot. I'm going to put that in there. It's definitely hot. And it probably was more towards the 170, 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Because when you go to drink tea, you want to make sure that it's not scalding hot, because you'll burn the tea or burn the herbs or whatever you're trying to simmer. So it's better to only see a few bubbles, or 1 or 2 bubbles. As soon as you see 1 bubble, you're good to go. All right. Oh, now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of curbside cooking with some eggs. We're going to boil a dozen eggs, and after we get done with that, we're going to do some Idaho green giant red potatoes. We're going to do those in the same water that we're going to do this, and the water can that we're using is right here. So we're going to place that right on top, just like so. And we're going to take the eggs and put those in just like this. This particular container does about 6 eggs, if I'm correct. Just like so. Now, I'm going to fill the water up. That way I know exactly how much water I'm using. And that'll be perfect right there. Now, I will start my device by pressing this down. That engages the butane canister inside, and I'll turn this all the way until it clicks. And let's move this off to the side so we can watch it. It's going. And you can see it. Let's check it out. All right. That looks really, really good. Move this over. Place the lid on top. Here, at curbside cooking. Now I'm going to need a towel so I don't burn my hand on the lid. Let me see where I can find a towel. So if you listen carefully, you can hear it. Let's take a look. So we're getting bubbles on the bottom, which means if that was for tea, it would be done. But we're going to boil this for about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. While we're doing that, the most important thing to get ready is to have a tablespoon that's metal. Okay? Preferably a silver tablespoon. This one's not silver. Okay? If it was silver, then when you use it, you're getting some silver particles. And silver particles are good for you. That's why it's good to get a silver tablespoon. It's more expensive, but it's better for you healthy-wise. We'll be looking for one of these somewhere real soon. So while that's boiling, we're going to take some of these potatoes and we're going to cut them up into thirds. Okay, down the middle, actually quarters, down the middle and then into halves. And we're going to prepare those red potatoes right here, cut them down the middle and then in half. And we'll probably do one, let's see, one, what do you think will fit in there? 1, 2, 3, I think 4 of these will fit inside there. And we can cook 4 of them. All right. Now to prepare the potatoes, we are going to use my mini Leatherman. Little teeny knife. Perfect to cut these potatoes. I hear the water boiling here at Curbside Cooking. Let's take a look. Perfect. I'm going to turn this down a little. So you can hear it. I'm going to go just right there. And in 3 minutes, they'll be done. One more minute to go on the eggs. And everything's all cut up, ready to go here. I'll use this to take out the eggs once they're done in 1 more minute, place them into the egg container, and then I will not place the eggs, I will not take these eggs and put them into the container by my hand. I'll put them on this tablespoon so I don't burn my hand or drop the eggs in there and they crack. All right, so that's how it'll be. Well, the tea, the ginger tea and the peppermint tea turned out perfect. Temperature is still perfect on that. If I want to, I can warm the tea up with a couple tablespoons of hot water. If I wanted to do that, take a couple tablespoons, but the eggs are finished, so let's get these eggs out. Here we go. Perfect. Just like so. Place this on the edge right here. If it'll balance. If this will balance right here, sure will. Take them out one at a time. And place them just like so. One at a time. Just like this. And you're saying, well, why am I showing you every egg coming out? Because I want to show you that every egg hasn't been cracked, which is no big deal. If it's cracked, you just use it right away. Let's see here. And one more. And we're set. Now, we're going to take the eggs and one at a time and place them in. I'll only show you one because it's extremely hard to do this. Just like this. I'll do two. Slide it along the side and gently lay it in. I'll take another egg right here, place it here, and place it in just like this. Okay. Take another egg and another egg. Just like get these out. And it looks like it doesn't have enough water, but once these eggs get in there, it'll be plenty of water. So you don't need more water. You really didn't have too much water evaporate. Let's see if we can get this last egg in here. Two more. And then the last one. Here we go. All right. Just like so. There we go. So it's covered. Let's get this lid back on. Just like this. And hopefully it'll start to boil right up. Let's listen. There it goes. 5 minutes and we'll be all done. All right. Good day and welcome to Curbside Cooking. I'm Mike and we're here at Education and Safety also. We do a little hiking, bushcraft, and survival. Sometimes the hiking is the hiking, sometimes the bushcrafting is just crafting, and sometimes the survival is just trying to survive. Simple as that. It doesn't matter where you are, country, city, mountains, hiking, there's always survival involved. So today we are cooking curbside, right next to the curb. I hope you enjoy the video and let's just keep on rolling. We're almost done with the video. We're getting ready to finish up the last 6 eggs, and we are also, believe it or not, we're going to cook up some Red Idaho potatoes. Cut them up so that they cook faster. You know what? It's not about how long it takes to cook. Sometimes you just want it completely done and finished up so that you can move on to your next project. All right, let's keep rolling. I can hear the eggs boiling. It's been 5 minutes. So now it's time to take these eggs out, place them with these eggs. And this is the aftermath of having 2 eggs. No need to see me eating. You know that everybody knows how to eat. So we all know that when you cook, you eat. And this is the aftermath of the shells. So it's good. Oh, here's a piece right here. So you know that I'm eating. You don't need to see me eat. All right. There's my tea. If the liquid went down, you know I drank it. If the water is empty, you know I used it. Let's get these eggs out and get our potatoes in. Our potatoes in to the container. And that's the tea that I made earlier. And you can see it's interesting. Temperature is still good. Just warm, that's fine. Remember to use your towel to take off the lid. Place the lid on the side. And now we're going to leave the temperature just where it was. We're not going to turn it up at all or do anything. We're going to take these out one at a time and place them back in our egg container. You could put them in cold water if you wanted to, but we're not gonna. Just like so. There we go. You're saying, well, why am I showing you how to take each egg out? Well, like in anything, everything's a balancing act. Whether it's too many spices or too much of something or too much of another, everything has to do with balance. So here we go. The eggs are out. Let's take some of the water and put it in my tea. If I can do this, let's see if I can do this. This is going to be interesting. I'll take my teacup and I'll place it right here, right there. And then I'll just take some, see if I can get a spoonful out. I'm not going to put too much out because I need it for my potatoes. And I'm not sure how much water I have left, so that's good. Take my teacup, move that out of there, place it back over here. Now I'm going to take these. I should place them in gently. I don't want to splash. That's good. One at a time. Take these one at a time. There you go. So we are almost done. looks like we might need, oh, that's cooled off already, good. We might need a little bit of water, and that should do it. So let's add a little water in there. I see a bird. Not too much, just about right there. Let's level everything out. That's good. Close the lid. We know it wasn't hot, so we'll use that. Now we're going to just turn it up a little right here. Okay. Heat's still coming out. Once we, like in 1 minute, I'll turn it back down again because I don't know if I'm going to, let's see if I can see any bubbles. Yeah, once I start to see some bubbles, I'll turn it down. I'll just turn it up. I got it up pretty high right now. It's pretty good. And we're pretty much good to go. I'm going to have one more egg. I'm going to have a little bit of my tea. And the potatoes, let's see what it says in the bag, how long. I think it's like 3 to 5 minutes solid. So it's probably a little shorter. So we'll see what it says in the bag. Let's see what it says. It says, you're supposed to scrub the potato well with cold running water. Well, believe it or not, we're boiling the water, so any bacteria, it's all going to be killed. Pierce with a fork in several places. Place on a paper towel. Microwave for 1 medium, 2.5 to microwave it for 2.5 to 5 minutes. So you can microwave it. For additional potato, add 3 minutes. Cook time. Average potatoes at least 1 inch apart, and turn once halfway through. Cook until potato just begins to feel soft when pressed. Remove from microwave, wrap in foil, let stand for 5 minutes, and then there's a hole punch, which I don't know what it says. May vary cooking time. So cooking time may vary depending on the temperature, the altitude. Let's see what this says. Conventional oven. It doesn't say about boiling. Huh. Doesn't say about boiling. So anyway, we're boiling the potatoes. So in an oven, scrub potato well until cold running water. Place with fork in several places. Place potato directly on an oven rack. Bake at 425 degrees for 50 to 60 minutes. So that's how you can make potato skins. See what it says here. Press. Potato is done when fork easily pierces it. So when you take a fork and you pierce the potato, okay, that's when you know it's done. Let's see. All right. Let's see what's going on here. All right. Make sure the flame is still on. Flame is still on. We're good. It's just got to heat back up again. Flame is still on, and we're good. Just got to heat back up again. So the question is, what's the most important thing about curbside cooking versus any other cooking? Well, what's the most important thing about curbside cooking and cooking in an oven or cooking in a microwave or whatever? The most important thing on cooking on a stove is to never walk away. Ever walk away from your stove. Because you never know if it's completely finished, or if it's boiled over, or if it's burnt, or if it's started on fire. So never walk away, because there's no automatic timer to turn this off once it's done. Okay, and in cooking too, most of the time there's no automatic timer to turn it off. to have it finished. So that's why it's important to never walk away from cooking. And that's probably the first most important rule. Rule number one, never walk away from a stove when you're cooking. And always have a towel or some type of rag that you can touch your handles so you don't burn yourself. Because once you burn yourself, now whatever you're doing is not going to be fun. So the eggs are finished. You know that they were good because I have the aftermath of the shells. And the tea is good. So that's it. So we're just going to start to pack up now and get everything all wrapped up. So as soon as the potatoes are done, we're set. All right, so looks like we got to turn this down. Let's turn this down a little. Right here. Right here. You can hear it. Right there. Perfect. Now we can stir it up a little too, just to move this stuff around. You don't want to stir too much, just because. But it is probably a little bit. And you can see how it's starting to cook on the edges. See how it's starting to cook on the edges? Let's just get this all, yeah, stirred up a little bit. Get this back under. It has to stay under the water for sure. I'm going to take this, go like that, go there, go there. Good. The other thing that we did was I brought out my metal fork. Okay, this should be stainless steel. I mean, this should be silver too. And when you poke it, it should go right in. So if I poke it right now, let's see, it doesn't go in. So I'm putting some pressure on it. It's not going in. So once it goes in, real soft, it's completed. Put the lid back on. And we're going to time this for let's say 5 minutes and check it out. All right, so it's boiling again. I turned it down. Let's just take a look. Yeah, so we're just gonna turn it down a little bit more. Pull it up towards me. Right there. Let's see what it looks like. Good. Yeah, just a little bit hotter. Right there. You can hear it. I turn it down again. Right there. Don't want it to bubble over. Just a little more. Right there. All right. Let's see what it looks like. Perfect. All right, so I have my canister, and once the potatoes are finished, I'm going to pour that potato water inside the canister, okay? Because it's all boiled, it's good. And I'm just going to take a few. I have a few tea sacks in here, so I'm going to take these tea sacks out. All right, so let's take a look at the potatoes, see how they look. So far they're looking pretty good. They're changing color and looks like they're getting a little softer. We can poke them if you want. Let's just poke them and see how they look. Here we go. All right, that went pretty good. I think I'm gonna go a little longer. 2 more minutes. And then what we'll do is we'll take the potatoes out. I got myself a peppermint bag and a ginger bag, and I'm gonna get one of these out. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my remaining tea that's in here that's cold now, put it back into the potatoes once they come out, and I'll let that re-warm up, this tea right here re-warm up, and then I'll have a thermos of hot tea and I'll boil it, and once I boil it and I put it in here, it should be good for, let's say, I'm gonna say it's probably good for, I'm gonna say it's probably pretty good until, let's say it's morning today, it'll probably be good until morning tomorrow. It'll still be hot if I don't open it too many times. All right, so let's take a look at it. Looks pretty good. Let's take a poke at it. That's pretty good. Let's take a piece of it out and we'll do a test. Looks pretty much done. All right. So you can see the coloration of it from the edge, from the outer edge inwards. It looks pretty much finished. Plus I poked it and it's pretty good. Let's check it out. Now, I'm just going to take these one at a time out. Let them drip. I did taste it and it tasted great. I'm going to let these air dry. Place them over here in a bag. Don't have a Ziploc bag with me right this moment, so we're going to have to make do with what we have. That's the bushcrafting, or the crafting of it, along with maybe a little bit of a survival aspect of it. I'm just being very careful with each one so that I don't break it. I'd like to keep them solid if I can. So far, so good. So good so far. Maybe the ones in the bottom are, I don't know. They're close. Maybe the top ones were cooked better. I don't know. That's just a spot on the potato. That looks good. That looks good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that there. I was going to use the potato hot water, but I think this time I'm going to spill it out just because I didn't wash. If I would have washed the potatoes beforehand, I would absolutely save this water. But being that I didn't wash them, everything is basically washed and boiled and everything. But if there's aftermath chemicals in here, I don't want to drink that with my tea when I place it in here. So I'm going to take this tea water, I'm going to spill this out, and then I'm going to place the tea water in the pot And then I'm going to add some water in and make some tea. Okay, we have an empty pot. Place it right here. Now we're going to take this tea that I had and place that in here. And add a little bit of water in too. Let's find my water. All right, I found my water. I'm going to place that right in here like this. There we go. Put the lid on. The lid's not hot anymore. Let's make sure our burners are on. Burners are on. And we're going to boil the water. This time, as soon as I see the bubbles, I'll turn it off and I'll pour it in. Let's put our tea bags, these tea bags, into our container, just like that. So it's ready to go. And I'm actually going to drink this tea and pour those tea bags in. I'm going to take these tea bags and pour them right in here. Grab them, put them in. All right. We have our potatoes that are absolutely perfect temperature to eat right now. Temperature outside is about maybe 40 degrees, 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Overcast a little bit sun. Eggs are finished. Eggs were great. They turned out well. Once they cooled down out here in the cold temperatures, the eggshells came off much easier. You could put them in cold water. I didn't. So those are completed. And we have my teacup for my tea. And we have our container ready to go with our tea leaves in. And let's see what we have so far. Okay, so you see a little mist right there, which is good. When it's colder outside, you're going to see that quicker, the mist. But it's important that you see the bubbles inside. The bubbles. Once it's bubble, it's hot. And I don't want to burn my tea. So we're getting really close. Probably about 30 seconds. 30.234 seconds. Somewhere around that. All right, let's take a look at our tea. Oh, it's bubbling. It's done. Turn it off. We're going to turn this off completely. It's off. Pull the lever up, just like this. That's good. It releases. Now the can of, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to release the butane. Okay, butane. Now I'm going to release the butane can inside here, just like that. You can see it move. There you go. The butane now inside here is released. I'm going to take this lid off, place the lid here, and place the liquid inside the canister. Right there. See if I can do this. Complete. All right. Set this back down. It's turned off. Put the lid back on, and we're all set. Now we're going to clean up and put everything away. Have one more potato. Now the most important thing is to take this lid and put it on immediately so you don't lose any of your temperature inside your tea. So use tea can stamp. Make sure you tighten it up and you're all set. All right, so thanks for joining me today on Curbside Cooking. I'm Mike, and a little education and a little safety never goes unturned or turned over, or however you want to look at it. Look at it however you want to look at it, but you could always look at it in a different angle, perhaps a different angle than I looked at it. It's always, and the most important thing, it's about, like, you know, hiking, bushcraft, and survival. A little bushcraft and survival today, and we made some potatoes, we made some eggs, we had a good time, and we got it done. Now, we got it finished, completed. Other than that, I got some potatoes left over, had a few, have some eggs left over. That's good to go. And key ingredient is to go buy an incredible knee cushion. Incredible, because your knees will absolutely take its toll on your, and go to an auto body shop, or, you know, like a car store that sells auto parts. They usually have knee pads and stuff like that. Don't grab knee pads, grab a pad, like a square pad, like something, you know, that's maybe an inch in foam. Make sure it's super thick, and if it's not thick enough, get two of them. You'll never go wrong with having two knee pads like that. Now, the other thing too is I wanted to thank you for watching today, and hope you enjoyed the filming. Until again, make your own journeys and adventure, and just be super safe, super smart, and super careful. You'll have a lot more fun over and over again, because if you don't do it right, well, you'll never do it again. Sometimes, many times, it goes with anything from hiking to mountain climbing to skiing to anything. Just, you got to be safe. Now, things happen, but you know, if you take preventative caution, you're better off that way than another way. And that's not a good way. All right, so we'll see you. Thanks for joining me today. All right, so I wanted to show you something really important here. This grill comes off, okay? If there's anything that you need to clean up around the edges, clean that up. But most importantly, this is the most important thing. Most important thing is to take this out. Now, this is up, and when I press that down, that's when it engages and goes in, okay? And only you press this down when you use butane. 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 Okay? And you press that down, and that engages it. When you're not, you take this off, and after you take it off, you just lift this lever and just pull this out just like this. Just like so. Lever has to be upwards to take this out. Take that, put the cap back on, never lose the cap. That way it can never engage and push the butane. Everything's all clean, everything's good. Close it back up, and then we're just gonna clean this grill up, put it back together, and then put it back in this canister. All right, that should do it. All right, all packed up, ready to go, back into its container, just like so. And it's all prepared. Lever is up, everything's turned off, nothing's inside, no butane is inside, no butane can. Close that up. lock it. BSAA. Let's see if we can lock this. There, that's closed, and that's closed. That's it. All right. Let's take a look at it. That's what it was. That's the model number. Dual fuel stove. 8,000 BTU portable butane and propane camp stove for outdoor use only. Okay, that's it. There you have it. All right, so I wanted to show you two things. These are two things. This piece and that piece is for the propane tank, okay? And the propane tank goes into this right here. This little knob goes into the side of this black piece right here, okay? Right there. And then this turns, there's that little notch like I told you before, and then this gets put into where that butane can, this butane can would have gone. This knob goes in, you turn this, you tighten it up until it stops. When this stops, when you put it on, when you put this onto that, it stops. But when you put the tank, the propane tank onto here, once it stops, give it another little snug. Give it another snug. Make sure there's no dirt in here ever, and give it a little snug. There's a cap that goes on this. Let me find that, and I'm going to put that back on. All right, so it's time to clean everything up, and I just wanted to show you something here. Let's see if that's hot. That's not hot. We're good. And we are going to do a curbside cooking edition coming up with something really cool. Let's see if we can get this in here. Oh, I don't know. It's pretty tight. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to use a butane tank or the propane tank. If we use a propane tank, we're going to have to custom fit this box, but we're going to cook using an illet. And you say, well, what's an illet? An illet is a cousin of a skillet. And this happens to be a let's see here. Uh-oh. See if we can get this off. Well, we can't get it off for now. We'll get it off later. But anyway, we can turn this around so I can show you. It's a skillet from Lodge, and it's a lodge, like a ski lodge, and this happens to be a combination of iron and different mixes of iron to make a cast iron. It looks like it's made in Tennessee, and 1986 is when it was made. 1986 this was made, and taste and natural difference of just iron and oil, or butter, you know, or whatever you want to, or keep me in the family and out of the landfill, and use me to cook your favorite foods anywhere, anytime. This happens to be a 10.25 inch, 26 inch centimeter I'll be your pan, and it says seasoned cast iron skillet. Okay, made in the USA. Lodge Ski Resort, Lodge Manufacturing in South Pitts, Pittsburgh, Tennessee. at Lodge Cast Iron. Well, if you go to the website, I'm sure you'll see a lot of other stuff. I happen to pick this particular one out, and I'm going to show you how we can cook on this and not splash and get everything all messed up. And it's going to be interesting, but it's going to be an innovative, new, ingenious way to use a illet, skillet, and survival so that we don't splash everything that's cooking. It's going to be interesting. Can't wait till we do it, and that's coming up. I just got to figure out how to get this off. I don't know how to get this little paper off. Somehow it's attached to the illet, the skillet. I'll figure that out. Hopefully it doesn't pull off all of the cast iron from it. We'll hope. All right, here we go. Well, I hope you get a chance to join me and seeing me use my illet, skillet, and some innovative ways not to splash stuff and new things that are up and coming. So hey, stay tuned. We're gonna have a good time. Hope you enjoy the content. All right, we'll see you. Education, safety, some hiking, bushcraft, and survival. Sometimes so we got some entertainment, but mostly it's just about, you know, trying to learn something new, maybe some educational things and things like that. So here we go. Let's keep going. All right, so wanted to share something with you. I mixed a little bit of a salad up. I got some spinach, some almonds, some chopped up garlic, carrots, green peppers, cucumbers, let's see what else we got. Some different types of lettuce. Also, I put some salt, some iodine salt. I also put garlic pepper and raw garlic. I put turmeric, I put cloves, some clove powder, turmeric powder, some cinnamon powder, and I'm trying to figure out everything I put in. I think I put, there was some, just a little bit of breadcrumbs, not much, and olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Not sure what the difference is between olive oil, virgin olive oil, and extra virgin olive oil is. You have to research that yourself. But I'll tell you what, I make a bowl of it and it lasts me 2 to 3 days. Only a little bit. There you go. Hope you enjoyed the filming. Hope you enjoyed the filming.